Born in 1943 in Abilene, Texas, Patricia Wallace Wright was the first child born to Keith and Margaret Wright. Early in life, Pat observed that the boys seemed to have a lot more fun than girls, so she took on an alternative personality at Crockett Elementary School. Her mother would send her off to school every morning perfectly curled and pretty, but as soon as Pat got to school, she would slick back her hair with water and was known to her friends as Ben Vincent, frontiersman. However, the guns and holsters came off as she entered South Junior High School. It was at this time that Pat began to shine. She was a member of the National Honor Society, received the American Legion Award for Outstanding Ninth Grade Student, was elected cheerleader, and received the very prestigious honor of being named Miss Posture of South Junior High. In 1959, Pat entered Abilene High School. Over the next 3 years, she was a member of the a cappella choir, where she caught the eye of her future husband, Chuck Evans, shown here at the 1960 choir banquet. She remained a member of the National Honor Society, was elected Abilene High School cheerleader, was an American Red Cross swim instructor, and was chosen class favorite her senior year.
I used to go over to the Abilene High football games. My first remembrance of you is you're cheering for the Abilene Eagles. You were a fabulous cheerleader, a passionate cheerleader, and you have that same smile that brightens your face that you had back then.
I've known cheerleaders. They cheered at games and then they went home and they were somebody else. I've never known a 24/7 cheerleader, and Pat is 24/7 this community's cheerleader.
Pat graduated 7th in the largest graduating class in Texas in 1962. After graduation, it was off to Austin, to the University of Texas, where she pledged Tri Delt. She continued her long-distance romance with Chuck, who was in Dallas attending SMU. Anxious to be together again, Pat graduated in 3 years, magna cum laude, with a double major in history and government. In the summer of 1964, Pat and Chuck were married at the Episcopal Church of Heavenly Rest in Abilene and resided in Dallas. From 1964 to 1970, Pat taught 7th grade Texas history for the Richardson School District at Lake Highlands Junior High School. At Lake Highlands Junior High School, she also coached the Lake Highlands tennis team for an additional $10 a month. In 1966, she had her first child, Andy, followed by Emily in 1970 and Amanda in 1972. As a full-time mother, Pat was a Cub Scout leader, Bluebird leader, on the PTA, and taught Sunday school at their church home, Christ United Methodist Church.
Whenever I've called her and asked her to serve, she's always been willing to serve, no matter how busy her schedule, and I think that really says a lot about her. The thing that really struck me happened a few months ago. We were building the house on the corner, which is a Habitat for Humanity type house, and I know that Pat was very, very busy at that time. So many civic responsibilities and duties at the City Hall. And I showed up one Saturday morning, and there she was out there in her jeans and t-shirt and a hammer in her hand, just as happy as she could be, along with all the other volunteers. And I was just so struck by that remarkable willingness to pitch in and be a volunteer and not always a leader. She just is a remarkable person.
As Pat's interest grew in landscaping, they sought a larger yard in far west Plano's agricultural area. From 1978 to 1982, Pat owned and operated her own landscape design company named Pat's Plants. It was during this same time that Pat began her lifelong career as a volunteer. In 1976, 13 women, including Pat, joined together to improve the community and formed the Plano Service League, which later became the Junior League of Plano. Pat was elected to serve as president of the PSL from 1979 to 1980.
One of the major projects that she worked on was the establishment of a juvenile detention facility for the Collin County that was in compliance with the Family Code and the laws of Texas. There was a great deal of concern that the facility that the children were being held in was not safe.
One of her proudest accomplishments with the Service League was her involvement with the Juvenile Justice Task Force. This task force created a separate detention center for juveniles in Collin County It was dedicated by Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor in 1983. Pat was appointed to the Planning and Zoning Commission in 1982 when Plano was growing rapidly. In 1985, the Plano City Council instructed the commission to establish a comprehensive plan to guide the city's rapid development. Pat was instrumental, along with the commission, in developing the framework which serves as guidelines for our beautiful city today. After Pat finished her 6-year term with the Planning and Zoning Commission, she decided it was time for a change of venue. With her 2 oldest children now in college and her youngest with 1 foot out the door, she decided to attend law school at SMU to further her knowledge and understanding of the legal aspects that confront the city.
Pat has devoted her entire law degree when she could have worked downtown for a large firm. She instead returned to Plano and devoted her life to representing the best interests of children.
After law school, Pat has been serving as guardian ad litem attorney for cases associated with court-appointed special advocates, CASA, in Collin County.
Attorney ad litem is appointed. It's whomever the judge believes can operate in the best interest of the children. This person has to be strong, they have to be of high moral character, they have to be willing to fight for the best interest of the children.
Pat works closely with CASA, looking out for the legal interests of abused, neglected, and abandoned children. It was in 1996 that Pat first joined the City Council, appointed to Place 3. She was elected and served as City Council Place 2 representative from 1998 to 2001. Pat Evans was first elected mayor in the spring of 2002 and re-elected in May 2004. With our population in the community becoming so diverse, Pat has really reached out to try to involve all of our minority communities in the city in mainstream, and I think it's been a great start, and there's some real successes showing up, and I think there's a lot more to come.
Mayor Evans was instrumental in the development of our Multicultural Outreach Committee, where our city has opened doors for citizens of different ethnic backgrounds to be more involved in our community and in our government. By strengthening our connection with sister cities in other countries, Mayor Evans put Plano on the international map and helped us to forge relationships that will have cultural, social, and economic impact for years to come. Selling Plano to other countries has been the mayor's mission to strengthen our position on the economic playing field of the future.
She is a tireless champion of our city, our citizens, and all of our families. She's a tomboy, scholar, humanitarian, activist, artist, wife, mother, and a grand Pat.
Mayor Pat Evans' tireless efforts to make Plano a city of superior quality for all of its citizens are evident in what it is today and what it will be in the future. It takes great citizens to make a great city. Mayor Pat Evans has truly earned the title of Citizen of the Year. Congratulations.
I am so proud to now call you Citizen of the Year. Your hard work, and I know how hard you work, is now being dedicated to you and people telling you that we appreciate the work that you do. We appreciate the time that you spend away from your family, all of your children, all of the grandbabies, and of course Chuck by your side, have got to be so very proud to have you not only as their mom and not only as their grandma, but obviously to have you as their role model, to have you up there working hard for the citizens of Texas, citizens of Collin County, and the citizens of Plano. Your work in Austin, I know you've been down here many times and made your position known well. Your work back in the county as you do things for the Collin County community, whether it be the Arts Hall or anything else that you take on, is always 100%. Your work in Plano, the hard work you do on the City Council with the members of the City Council, and the leadership that you provide, all of these things bring us to today to announce you Citizen of the Year.